they've heard it for freaking
They're so used to it now.
forever. They just laugh. Donita says when you're 90 years old that they're still going to do 3, 2, 1 clap. When you hear, anyways,
And then you're just gonna be like, Jared, stop lagging, damn it.
stop lagging. Get a better connection. Why is everyone so bad? Why can't we use something else? Why do you guys record like that? All the same bullcrap we've been hearing for years. But episode 341, here we are. Welcome to the PARAcast. I'm your host, Tomas the Boss Fernandez. Joining me tonight, he's all booty on duty. It's Jared Stepp.
Yes. No, that's someone else I saw. Jeez.
And what do Timney triggers, 15 splits, and shots between targets have in common? Kenny Terry. Now they
One
get
thing that's not true is 15 splits. This homeboy ain't pulling out no 15s.
with that Timney trigger on that Glock. I think you could possibly do it. Those things are pretty light. So
15s are slow.
Fuck you. At Utah State, I shot a 14, and I was like, oh my god, that's probably the fastest I've ever split the gun.
I got an 11 on Utah State.
Was this
Or...
was this the intentional 11, or is it one of the 11s where you stopped after you shot it and then kept going?
No, that was an intentional 11. The accidental was like 09, and it didn't even register on the AMG timer. It said that split was 23, but there were 2 shots.
What? So all the timers start getting finicky around what, like 9s? Because a lot of them on full auto guns, they really start having an issue. Because most full autos are like 7 splits?
Most full autos are like 9s, I'd say. If you get like a Glock 18 or something with a really high rate of fire, you can get down to 7s or 8s. But I know my M4s, they're 9s.
9s pretty consistently, yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Jared is full auto. He just pulls 10s with his finger.
Yeah.
with this Glocks. Speaking about this, so Jared, you haven't been on since Utah State, so tell everyone what you shot at Utah State and what the semi full auto. Technically, Jared does have a semi full automatic gun.
Well, I mean, Terran Tactical was having a sale. It was like their Labor Day sale or something, and so they had like a slide. It was a Blem slide, but it was a full cut, like full done up Terran Tactical Combat Master build Gen 3 for like $200 or something. And so I bought that and I built up a Gen 3. Kenny helped me out, stippled the grip. I did the trigger and I built it all up. And it was actually, I could shoot it really well. I was really pleasantly surprised. I got it nice and sprung the way I wanted.
All right,
and so at Utah State.
Before we continue on with the trigger, let's notice who did the trigger work.
Exactly. That's why I said I did it. That's why I said I did it. But it was doing great. And then on stage, I think 10 of the 14, on one of the stages, it went on when I shot a mini popper at 15 yards away. The good thing is I hit the mini popper with the first shot, but on video it's great because you just see me stop for a second and then slowly walk away from the target because I'm worried. I'm like, I don't know what the rules are.
He's got that criminal look, like when a criminal's walking through a convenience store and sees something they want to steal on the counter. They stop and look at it real quick and they make their decision before they go. Jared goes brap, and he looks at it and goes, I should continue. He's surprised no one said stop. It's okay, here we go.
Yeah, I waited for a second.
Everybody's used to that with Jared. Yeah, that's normal.
Well, the funny thing, that's what actually they said. They said they didn't think it was negligent, accidental, because I just did some 12 splits on the 2 open targets in front of it. And then I went to hold on the far target and just did, and half the guys didn't realize it was accidental, and the other half were like, So afterwards, I used my duty Glock, and I didn't do nearly as well, just because you get used to the timing of one gun, and then you've been shooting one gun all day with different strings, different everything, and then all of a sudden I had to swap to a stock Glock 17, not Combat Master. And
this one doesn't fire when the
last-
slide closes.
I
I
know.
hate it. It's got a delay.
It's ridiculous. So the last three or four stages of the match for me weren't great, but now the little Combat Master is over at Kenny's house, ATF. It's not here, but Kenny's gonna fix it. We think it's the connector or something was bent a little. It sounds like.
Yeah, that's. Jared was talking to me about this, and he said 3 of the words that shouldn't be said. Is I bent the connector. And so, like, because I've had like in this very frame that I have in my hand, I've had that happen before where I got a connector, and so you can, anytime like I did any connector work or on like Glocks or something like that, if you just cycle it, like dry fire, like click, cycle it, click, cycle it, click, there'll be one of those times and like pin the trigger and then let out the reset. If you have a bent connector that slips, once out of like 50 times, when you let go of the trigger, it'll like as soon as it goes to reset, it'll slip and fire again. And so, like, you can catch that on those things. But generally, especially when you get to those 3.5-pound connectors, when you start bending those connectors, they will like to slip back and just set the gun off. I only had that on a Virginia stage at one time where I was like, it was IDPA.
Nice.
IDPA, I was like, do 2 to the body, 1 to the head. I go, pop to the body, brap. Don't catch it. So, well, that's good. Kenny.
So yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah. And so we'll talk about the IDPA match in here in a minute, but Mr. Terry has acquired stuff for his I guess he's switching divisions. We'll find out, Kenny.
Oh.
And isn't this like a weekly thing? It was open. We're back to limited. It's gonna be CO. Maybe I'll be shooting revolver by the time the year's over.
They'll just crown you Revolver National Champion.
You're going to keep scaring Josh Zolwig out of different divisions.
You're going to cause him to go broke. So, CO now.
After Red Rock, it'll be CO.
After
Still unlimited till next weekend.
You got a Gen 4 Glock?
Yep, Gen 4 MOS, Timney trigger. Nothing special. It's got the brass plug in it. It's got a 320 X5 guide rod in it. Yeah, other than that,
solid. And you got some. Did you get your magazine pouches yet? Your new CO rig built up?
Not yet. I'm excited to try them.
Yeah, we got Kenny saw those precision holsters pouches and he wanted some, so now he's got some because they're fantastic. I used them for IDPA yesterday, but we had a fantastic time. So let's I'll start on my week here. Is we've been talking about building a 34, and I've had Kenny's 34, and I've been dry firing with all week, and then I was just like, okay, so I just went on Brownells. I was taking a look, and what do they have in there? They had a Delta Point cut 34 slide.
Because no one wants them.
Because nobody wants it. And it's for a Gen 3, and so I was like, all right, whatever. I had a $40 coupon code, so I got it. And it came in, I mounted my Delta Point. I was like, all right, but I need a 34 barrel, so I thought Brownell slide, Brownell's barrel. So they got a nitrited, traditionally cut barrel. And I went out there and put those together and put it on my my Gen 317 frame and shot an IDPA match with it. And I decided to invite my friends, Alex Went and Jared Steff, to an IDPA match. And it was...
We did not know what we were getting into.
It was...
Are they really your friends if you're taking them to an IDPA match?
I mean, it's like when you take someone to a restaurant and you're like... We're like, let's go to Chili's, and then you get like a meth waiter, and like everyone's like, maybe you feel bad for pressuring everybody into this. It was kind of that situation. I mean, it was. I forget how scary like outlaw matches and beginning IDPA with a lot of newer shooters is. It's frightening.
Oh, so bad.
So let's so Jared. How should we hit this? Should we talk about our thoughts about? Let's talk about you and your thoughts on shooting IDPA in your first IDPA match first.
No, I don't even know how to approach this conversation. But no, IDPA is best when it's doing that squirrely, stupid crap where it's like, hold this baby, and everyone's like, I'm gonna palm the baby's face, and this is how I'm gonna run around and shoot the stage. Or they're saying like, here, you're getting attacked by teenagers. Throw a phone at them and then shoot. And like, something.
Yeah.
IDPA is best when they're doing these squirrely little scenarios, and it's just goofy fun. But it also is nice because you're like, oh, this is an interesting. I have never considered shooting from a recliner before. I have never considered what I would do if I had a fishing pole in my hand and I was sitting in a recliner. I've never practiced this. And so it's fun. But the points down stuff is just yuck. You have to aim so much, and that is not my preferred method of bullet delivery.
But
so
you can aim. You can aim, and like I know that you were setting up. You're shooting this match, and you're going to another match, and you kind of use this match for practice, which we're
Right.
like practicing for a hang two on paper match and an IDPA match aren't exactly simpatico. So if you want to practice for the hang two match and an IDPA match, if you're going for speed, you're gonna leave some points down on the table.
Yeah, but I did get a lot of speed. I did good. I mean, I lost to you by 4 seconds, even though you're not competition. And
that's right. It was just
I
the same
think I
one
had-
that Tom's.
I had like 35
Yeah.
seconds points down, which is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, like you the one thing is with IDP, the one thing that's with IDP is like you can outrun points down, but you better outrun the points down because like they stack up pretty quick. But we had a fun match up there at Wasatch Shooters, and we sat there and shot it. My gun, I literally zeroed it accurate. It ran well. Jared got to shoot his 2011, and
Yeah,
the Jared shot a masterclass classifier on his first attempt ever, his first time shooting. So congratulations, masterclass IDPA shooter.
I don't have an IDPA number, so it doesn't count.
So it doesn't count. It's not in there. But the funny thing is like the IDPA CO kind of shows you. Well, at least it shows me that there's not a big problem with having the single action guns in CO in USPSA.
Right.
I don't think there's a huge enough difference. What we did see there at the IDPA match was some sketchy stuff. We were sitting there on stage 2
We
waiting.
saw the Heart of Darkness.
The Heart of Darkness. We saw on a retreat stage an SO. We saw a shooter with a cigarette in his mouth, still smoking during the stage. The SO sets
Great in and of itself.
sets up the time. The shooter with the cigarette starts shooting, and then he starts backing up. And instead of backing up, the SO like hugs the wall, like literally does like the ninja against the wall. The shooter
Like
runs.
the Kronk scene from Emperor's New Groove when he pushes himself up against the wall. Going, exactly that.
And then we saw the shooter run into the SO, and then they get like tangled up, and it looked like some close quarters shiv work, indexing, pointing guns at people, and then it ended up into just being a reshoot. So like, it was
As the shooter runs by and literally like puts the muzzle basically into the safety officer's gut, and then just runs by, and then they stop, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And the guy, he still just has a cigarette in his mouth. He's like, why didn't you move?" And the old man, because he looked like he was like, 97? I'm like, why are you having a geriatric old guy RO this dude who can actually, and the shooter actually wasn't, he shot it quick.
Yeah.
And so the old guy was enthralled by this fast shooting that he'd never seen before, and he just didn't move. And then all of a sudden the guy starts running, and the old man's like, I can't outrun with that, so I'm just gonna melt into the wall.
Well,
And
it was
the weirdest thing, man.
It was kind of like I need the timer to pick up every shot in this string, so I'm going to stay right on you and pretend like this is a timer that can't hear anything.
and then somebody in the audience is just like, "Stop! Stop!
Stop!
What
I
are you
love it
doing?"
because somebody stop this train wreck.
Stop!
And like I was talking with Tyrell about it, and like even in the IDPA rules, I think that would, even if it was SO interference, like I think in some of the IDPA rules that would actually still count as a disqualification for the shooter, because
Well,
you
yeah,
can't
I mean,
you can't point the gun like Kenny's ROing me and I'm shooting, right? I'm shooting, and then like he runs into me and I keep turning and I like flag him across his chest with like, at some point, like it's got to be both of our fault. It's like,
right.
we got to stop this. But the insanity didn't stop there. We went through the match and it started raining like crazy, just like cats and dogs and dogs and cats. But anyway, it clears up and we get to the stage, and of course we have concealment garments and we have the shooter, and I'm standing right behind poor Tyrell Kelsey. Well,
I went
Tyrell's
and did a bathroom break conveniently,
and Tyrell's SOing
so
a
I missed
guy,
this.
and this is a like one of the scariest DQs I've ever had. That shooter was in the squad. Like I've ever, the scariest DQ I've ever had, the shooter was in the squad. Like I haven't seen him in years, and he's in the squad. But then another shooter's in this squad, and they're running these freaking Springfield Armory XDMs with like, obviously not IDP illegal, with like charging handles and vortex venoms and magwells and Powder River freaking triggers, and it's like it's an uprange start, so like turn and draw, and like this guy gets ready for the turn and draw, and then like he sinks his hip like he's gonna go super fast. I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna go weird. And Tyrell gives him the beep. He turns, and literally like he might have broken the 180 when he turns, but thank God we didn't have to DQ him on the 180 because he torched off around at about 1.5 feet towards everyone's feet. And so like me and Alex are sitting there like mouth agape, like I thought he shot himself in the foot. Like it was like whack. He's like, oh, like he made that sound, and then like he like shifted his balance, like, and of course when someone gets shot through the foot through their shoe, it's not like it's immediate. Like I was like looking at his shoe, waiting for like the blood to start like coming in, or him to like limp on it a little bit. But anyways, he's like, no, and then Tyrell's like, stop, and then so they had him like unload and show clear, and he's like, oh man, my coat got caught up into my gun, and then when I was like, so like your coat got caught up into your trigger somehow, and then like you decided to keep pushing it. So anyway, like there's a big old pot where the shot went into the ground. He gets DQ'd, and he's over there talking about, this is why we got to test our equipment and get the right clothes so they don't get in our triggers. Like, listen, I've shot a lot of IDPA. I've shot a lot of IDP borrowing people's concealment garments. I have never thought that some coat got into my trigger guard in the middle of a turn and draw and torched off the trigger. I think it was his finger, but that's just me.
It was
So a guy almost got shot in the foot. A guy almost got shot in the gut.
Yeah, correct.
I'll stick to USPSA.
and that was what we saw. Kidding.
Yeah.
That's what we observed. That's what
we weren't on the Winter Soldier squad, and he probably flagged everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's okay though, because he's so much better than everybody else.
It's so much better. They so we had.
He did win.
Yeah, by 1,700 over a guy that shot a brand new gun.
Yeah, suck it, Tom.
Yeah, not even
No competition, Tom.
No competition. So yeah, it was a fun match. I really like. I know everyone like kind of like talks shit about IDPA, but I really like IDPA. The shooters who shoot IDPA, like I like most of the shooters that shoot IDPA, but there's definitely, well, and USPSA gets this too, but I think we are very fortunate that we have SLPSA. Because
I think that part of it is that SLPSA is actual, like, I feel like SLPSA is very professional, and I feel like SLPSA has its crap together. And if people show up and they're doing hinky dinky shit, you can be guaranteed that Dave Moore is going to jump out of the bush and be like, "What the fuck?" and end it. Like, he's just going to appear. He'll spawn right in front of you before you do something bad. And Dave, that's what he does. But I mean, I joke about it, but at the same time, it's good because it promotes a culture of severe safety and severe we're all very, very conscientious about this sort of stuff. But while some of the other clubs, like ones that happen up at that Wasatch Range or ones that happen out at the farm,
Oh,
or
well,
unfortunately, even my own match, the Nauticop match, we had like 2 DQs for NDs, and I'm just like, I want you guys to come back. But also, I'll take the $50. Thank you.
it's worth someone's life. It's worth someone's life.
So it's just
well, I think the difference is that Slipsa, like when people do kind of hinky shit, they get pulled aside by like 2 other shooters. Are like, listen, because we all have a very safe practice there, and we all want things to be well. Like when I saw a guy like speed holster Beretta 3 times on a stage, it's just like, dude, don't do that. Like the chances of you blowing a hole in your leg and doing something weird or breaking the 180 are pretty high. But when you have a lot of people who are like, this is the let's not make waves, we're all here to have fun kind of thing. So someone does something hinky and they go like, I don't know, was it the 180? It's like, I don't want to kick them off the range. We'll let it go. What was that? You stuck a barrel in my gut and I didn't retreat. It's like, it's good for the both of us. Let's just shoot it again.
That's probably my fault. I mean, did you see what I was wearing? I was asking for it.
It's like I shot it in the ground. Yeah. But it was like...
But there was a target nearby.
It was a target nearby. I was like, all right. Let's shoot again. Sorry I stopped you. I'm such a baby. Sorry I stopped you.
Slipsa hazes Felipe to the point that he sacrifices his body instead of having an AD, and he destroys his shoulder because he falls on it. And we're like,
congratulations, you've done it. We're
proud of you.
We have a proud tradition of safe falls at Slipsa. Very,
Exactly.
very safe, muzzle downrange falls. No 38 supers leaving our bays. So that's what we're up to. Anyways, so yeah, we did that. What else was I going to talk about? ND, I got that written down. Turn up range, got that down. Barrel slide, IDPA. Yep. So yeah, that's basically
about mediocre shooters being arrogant.
Well, there was such a huge gap between the first and second place finish. I don't know what to say about that. I will say this about it. If I don't know what people count as competition, but that was pretty close. And the other part is too. It's like
look in the mirror, Tom. It's not you.
It's not me. The other. The other part is too is like IDPA is a very neutralizing game for a lot of skills, and it plays very well to accurate shooters. So if you have a shooter that's 80% as fast as you but 10% more accurate, it's a great equalizer in that sport. And so we'll see how things go, but I got to get this gun stippled, and I got to get this gun with a Seattle slug and a tungsten guide rod, and then it's all race ready. But Kenny
I have
was
an
right.
extra connector if you want it.
No, I'm good, Jared. I'll just work on my own trigger work, and Kenny will tell me where to put a pin. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
All right.
I'm solid gold. Solid gold.
Say it.
If you don't want an effed up product, head on over to precisionholsters.com. They don't let Jared touch any of their equipment, so you can check those out. Save promo code PARA10 and save 10% off your order. Also, what did I say? Dominate defense. Did I say precision belts? Did I say precision holsters? What did I say?
Yeah. Dominate
defense. That's where you get your belts. Precision holsters. That's where you get your holsters in your mag pouches, and you use promo code PARA10. It's fantastic gear. You guys will honestly like it. And if you don't even know, you've never seen it, pull up the website, check it out. You'll enjoy it. Check them out, PARA10. Also, Telegram.com. Well, not .com, but Telegram. Download the app. Pop it up. You can ask us questions, and we'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. I don't have Robert here, so I forgot to pull up the damn questions. So let me find them, and I will pull them up. You two talk about something interesting.
Well, Tom's being so nice. Tom was way too nice. I'll say it. Don't show up and tell somebody they're not competition when you shoot 78% at a fucking major. Don't be that guy, huh? Because you ain't a good shooter either. Tom, at least you are a great person. He's a piece of shit and a bad shooter. There you go.
Kenny, tell us how you really feel.
I like Tom, and I don't like arrogant people. So
What is the worst safety? Yeah, Alex Wainwright said, "What's the worst safety violation you've seen?" So the shooter that was there that I haven't seen in years once did the trifecta in front of me, which was the it was quite hard. So he had the discharge while reloading, while breaking the 180 during the reload over a berm, and
Was this
That's
an
pretty
IDPA
good.
match?
this was an IDPA match back in the day, and it's
So, boom.
like boom, like so he's got these big hands, and of course, like he's one of these guys for the love of all of the universe can't take their finger out of the trigger guard
Yeah.
and put it up. It's just like, oh man, my trigger finger weighs 6 ounces, like just big ham hocks. I can't do it. And like it's kind of like also one of those guys where it's like they don't shoot a gun that would be conducive to like what they're doing. Like you have something like a Glock or something like that has higher trigger rate. It's one of these. You can have like lower skilled people, which will be like,
Wow.
what do lower skilled people like? They like light triggers with
Apparently, CZ75Bs.
yeah, like they like high powers and guns was very light triggers, and so it did the turn, trying to get the magazine release with his finger on the trigger. No, it was low. He got the magazine in and then like dropped the slide and like fired the shot over. And I was like, stop. Like I think we'll DQ you on the shot over the berm there on the reload. So we'll just DQ. And then the person who was scorekeeping, because those two were buddy, didn't DQ him, just zeroed him out for the rest of the stage. And I didn't find that out till I saw the score. I was like, no, he should be oh, he's not DQ'd. Assholes. That's the worst DQ I've ever had. I've never had, like, there's been some sketch ones. I've never had something that's, I'm sorry, how do I phrase this? Because that's dangerous as hell. I've never had something that's super scary, like a shot going up range or going at somebody or anything like that. But that's scary. There's some types of shooters, like when I see a combination of like physical attributes, attitude, and certain pistols, I would like not to be ROing you at this time. So
Do you want a funny police story?
yes, I will take it. Because if anyone knows negligent discharges, it's the
First
police.
off, I've seen way too many ADs and NDs, and all of them, they're just kind of like, you good? Yeah? All right. Like there was one where a dude slung his rifle down and it fired while he's walking. Like, so the rifle's hanging down on a single point, shoots right next to him, and everyone stops, and they're just quiet for a second. You good? Yeah. He moves his foot, and you can actually see the impact on the ground where the AR round hit, and his foot is this. And so instead of making a full circle impact mark, you can see just that, like, it looks like an uppercase D. That's how close his foot was to the impact of where that round was. So that was a funny one. But the best one was actually in the police academy. The very, very first day you bring guns in, they tell you like 30 million times, don't bring ammo in. Okay, what did we say? We said don't bring ammo in. If you bring ammo in, we're going to kill you. Don't bring ammo in. What are you going to bring? Gun, not ammo. No ammo. So don't bring ammo into this building. I don't know how much clearer we can make this. And of course, they thought they didn't bring ammo in, but they had their Glock, and they're like, check this out, man. Look at this Glock. It's so cool. And they also said, don't take your guns out before the instructors show up. So it's like, 15 minutes before class starts. And this poor little guy is just like, this is the coolest Glock. This is how you take part. You push it forward like this on the muzzle. You got to push it out of battery a little bit. Then you got to pull the trigger here, and it goes bam. So he shoots his hand.
Holy hell.
Goes through his hand. His buddy's standing next to him. His buddy gets shot in the chest. The bullet enters his right boob, comes out of his right boob, goes into his left boob, goes out of his left nipple, and then the bullet hits his left bicep and plops on the ground. And then Beecher's like, I've been shot. And everyone's like, fuck. And yeah, that was really, really great.
I don't.
Luckily, it was all very superficial because it literally was just like obviously right along the skin. Barely went into his chest. Barely went into his other chest. It took out his nipple though. That was like off on the ground, and then it was not good.
That would be one of those times. It's like I don't care like how close I get or how little I get shot. Like how superficial the wound is like I'm not hanging out and I'm not talking to you. Like I don't understand how like more police trainers don't die all the time from negligent discharges and stuff like that. Because it's like the worst thing is like a lot of the shooters that you can get that get kind of in the circles where they're not held accountable by the other shooters is they get like the unconscious incompetence where like they're like, oh, I don't understand how incompetent I am. I feel really great. Guess what I do on the weekends? I shoot pistols in competitions. And so, like, I'll do that. And then it's just like that they're doing, like, sketch stuff all the time. Like, if it wasn't a DQ to handle your firearm outside of a safety area, like, you imagine how many people would be pulling out their guns and looking at them just dicking around, just standing out there. Taking sight pictures on targets and stuff like that. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's weird. The quote unquote tactical community has a very interesting view on negligent discharges, and there's all these guys that are like, if you haven't had one yet, you will. And I'm just like, no, that's not how you do this.
Yeah, well,
you don't say, oh, well, you haven't ran over a pedestrian yet. You drive a lot. It's going to happen, though, one day. And, hey, just say it, When it happens, it happens. We all do it. No, it's 2,000% unacceptable.
No.
And I've seen NDs when I've been on the range. I've seen NDs when I've been off the range. And it's really funny because a bunch of the times it's just like, did he just do that? And everyone's like, yeah, he did. I'm like, can we make fun of him for that? He's like, no, he's above you in rank. Don't make fun of him for that.
Don't do it. He just torched one off into the freaking railroad tie. And jumped and scared himself. Oh, yeah, no. And he's scary. New shooter's scary. All those things scary.
Very.
What division are you shooting at the IDPA state match? Jared, are you going to shoot it?
I don't think I'm going to shoot it, honestly.
Can I sign up as Jared Stepp since he shot an IDPA match and I'll go shoot it?
Yeah, I don't think he has a membership.
Yeah. You can have my master number.
I mean, we're both white, mild beards. What's the difference?
What's the difference? You're about the same. You're about the same height. Yeah, I'm gonna be shooting CO, and that's just because that's where all the well, I'm not competitive, but that's where the competition is said to be. So I'll go shoot that, and then yeah. So I think it's just CO from here on out. I think that's and the problem is like even if you like other divisions, I think it's 0 from here on out. So
I'm so excited Tom's getting a gamer gun.
by a gamer gun, it's a Gen 3 Glock 34.
It's
literally
more gamer than your other guns. How sad
it's
is
a
that?
competition model, Tom. You don't even have sights on it.
I know.
You're
It's
half the red dot window's not covered up by sights.
Yeah.
I know. I was messing around with Kenny's with his RTS 2, and I was just like, all right, like there's something to this. But after shooting, I was like, okay, fine, we'll do this. We'll shoot recklessly fast as possible and put a bunch of weight in a gun and try to make it work.
I want the RTS 2, but worse in every way. Let's get a Delta point.
I already had a Delta point. And I like the Delta point. It's so funny, like how much I have a hard time with like the bottom out windows. Like when you have like just the big empty space under the dot. Like I'm not a fan of that.
Tom.
Yes.
All I'm saying, like literally 50% of shooting is looking cool, and you holding the pistol up to your face, pressing the button, and missed it. Gotta make another round.
I gotta go around the horn. I gotta go around the horn.
Click. Oh, come on. Ah, shit. How many times am I supposed to click this button? Did I turn it off?
Well, the
What
one
happened? Is me clicking this
the one thing
knocking
is,
the batteries out?
like,
What's happening?
the delta point gets okay bright, but the problem is like when you press it and it goes double blink for that brightness, and then like if you press it again real quick because you're like trying to get this thing brighter, then it's back down the in the horde. Or like you can hold the button down for 4 seconds and then you can go back up, and it's just
If only there was a red dot that had up and down buttons.
There is. I have my Sig Romeo I can put on this. I just got to shave a couple recoil bosses down. I don't want to do that right now. I don't want to do that right now. So, yeah. Carry optics. Carry optics is the way to go. I think IDPA is doing carry optics right. Especially that since they've gotten over a lot of their kind of dumber rules about accessories on the guns. And so, yeah. I'm going to put some tungsten in this thing and put a grip plug on it and get the thing weight down low, spring it a little differently, and keep shooting stuff out of it. But like I'm super excited. It's been a lot of fun. Yesterday was a lot of fun. So besides the pouring rain and not being competitive. Anyways, let's see here. Where's my Telegram page? There we go. If you had to sacrifice a limb to continue shooting USPSA, which one would it be? Kenny.
Left leg.
Left leg.
I can get a
Yeah.
prosthetic. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, left leg. I think you could still. You could be like a grandmaster and shoot Steel Challenge a lot. Like your left leg's the one that you don't really need.
Why don't you just do left arm and then you can just shoot PCC?
Ooh,
Oh,
because I'm still not gay.
because they already look dumb enough when they're trying to reload. Let alone like how I don't get how bad they almost all are at the reloads. At PCC reloads, because I would imagine like you could do it, like people you could do it, you could do a PCC reload and be okay with it, but
no,
like some of them like a lot of like the Glock ones is like, why don't you carry like a Glock 17 mag if you had to do a classifier, because you could handle that with your hand, stick it up in there, lock it, and then keep shooting, but instead it's like the gigantic 45 round magazine that they're trying to slam in there. I don't get it.
Well, Tom, so they don't shoot PCC to practice, so they'd have to practice to get better reload.
Oh yeah, well,
big facts.
They get to look at these splits. Look how fast I shot this thing. It's like you got 2 hands and freaking 30 rounds of ammo. That's the one thing I don't get about IDPA. 18 rounds max for a stage. PCC, what's your limit? 30 rounds. Like, okay, gotcha. Preferred gun oil. Anybody preferred
Cherry bombs.
Lucas is fine. I like Lucas gun oil. I've had good success with them, but honestly, it's all
whatever you got for free.
Exactly.
Whatever makes a gun run.
Yeah, that's.
I will say I like Wilson Combat makes a stupid 9mm 1911. That's like I think it's a lighter lube, and that's what I use on my 2011s because I've got one bottle of it and it's lasted for years, because it's not like you use a ton of it. You're not trying to shove a cucumber into your gun, so you just do a little bit of oil and you're good. But I have so much just free random like samples and stuff, and like Breakthrough Clean. That is one thing I will say. Breakthrough Clean, they make these they're like wet wipes.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. I love those so much. Mainly because Breakthrough Clean always sponsors the cop match. And I get one of those $20 certificates, and I buy some of those wet wipes, and it has like oil and cleaning solvents on it, but it's the actual nice material that won't fall apart. And you get one of those wipes, you can I can clean my Glock and I can clean my duty rifle after a range day with one of those and be done. And that's nice. Very convenient.
If you're into cleaning. What was the other thing we had? Sure. Yeah, if you're into clean, like Safariland products and stuff like that, that's always fine with me. Motor oil is always fine with me. Like any like honestly, like on top of my safe, I got like
fish oil,
just oils and clean fish oils, canola oil. What was the Fire Clean? What was that canola oil that they were
bacon grease
that they were hawking to everybody? Look how good it does. Yeah, you can quench a sword in it too. So, anyways, who
It will kill.
it will kill Pan America, Kenny. Who ended up doing well in that?
I don't know. I've tried to look in the results and they won't let me see them now.
They don't want
So
to.
Probably 'cause you're
IPSC
not a
is totally
competitor.
opposite. They like hide the results. I don't know why. It looked like Nils was having a solid match. Matt Hopkins looked like he was shooting really well. Christian Saylor was, of course, doing well. But it's they make it hard to look at. God damn it, IPSC, just put it on practice score.
No, they're special. They when you wear the referee jersey, you know that like you're not going to get the scores early. It's just like what is this? This is like they want the pomp and circumstance of everything. We just want our scores and we want to catch a flight and go home. That's all. That's
I'm at the point where if it's not on practice score, there's no way I'm going to go to it.
You're just not going.
World shoot.
Jared's never shooting an IPSC match.
I'm not a competitor either.
Yeah,
not when you short 33 down, Jared. You sure not.
Yeah, Jared,
Hey.
come on.
I still got like fourth.
We were watching. I was watching. So this club that we shoot has warm up stages. So it's a stage as part of the map, but it's like something very simple. It's like it's a single target. So we had like 40% of the lower part of the target was complete hardcover, and you had to like draw, shoot 4 shots, strong hand, reload, shoot 4 shots, weak hand, at least. And so like we're all doing that. We're all shooting it. And Jared learns like Jared goes pop 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 load pop 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 pop, and he sees one go square into the black, and then he goes, I won't make that up because I'm not gonna take the time to make that up. And then it's just like we get like 6 points down, and then he's like, wait a second.
That was 5 seconds.
It's like, yeah, but you can make that up. We had a lot of taking your friends. The funny thing is with IDPA, it's like it is so much harder just to knock around your friends with procedurals and points down and everything. Like it is a lot simpler to put on the ground, and it's a lot harder to officiate with how much stuff can happen with people. So, especially when they go ahead.
And the squirrely Dans that show up.
Yeah, the squirrely shooters. And if you're listening and you think like, hey, I think they're talking about me as the squirrely shooters, like, yeah, sharpen up.
If you've pointed a gun at someone, we might be talking about you.
If you've ever, like, I understand.
Accidentally.
If you've ever torched a round off within 1.5 feet of your own foot or somebody else, like, okay, like there shouldn't be really any near misses at a match. If you like draw and accidentally sent one to like the left of a target because you got your finger on the trigger, it's like we've all done that, but not impacted towards anyone within a foot. Try to straighten that out. Well, here's a lovely short little episode for you guys. Robert will be back after his 2-day venture in shooting faster splits and at Atomic and shooting Carolina. So we'll hear what he has to say. But thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening. For Jared Stepp, Kenny Terry, I'm Tom Nelson, bidding you peace, love, and souls. We depart into the open waters of the Sea of Life on a little tugboat we like to call the PARAcast.
Toot toot.
Doot doot.
Doot doot. All booty all the time. All right. Thanks, guys.